Rengifo, a shot through, base hit. In to score is Contreras. Sanchez on his way to the plate. Luis Rengifo stays hot. In the gap, left center. That's going to go to the wall. Tarang will score. Sanchez on his way to second with an RBI double. That's a little flare. That's going to fall. And that's going to give Sanchez a chance to score. And Drew Vaughn with an RBI single. That's going to do it. Tatis grounds out and put that one in the books. The Brewers with a 5-1 homestand, 7-1 the final here today against San Diego. Penny, they sweep the Yankees. They take 2 out of 3 from the San Diego Padres to first place team.
Yeah, they were 1 pitch, 1 out away from sweeping the San Diego Padres as well. What a homestand right here by the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah. Guess who's not bad luck? Huh? This guy. I thought for sure they were going to lose because I was there. It's just how it goes.
Quite the show you had yesterday.
Yeah. I was, gotta be honest, I got really bored after the second inning. I ate my face off. That wasn't great. Hey, cheese curds. Shout out cheese curds at AmFam Field. Real good. Good dub by the Brewers. 7-1 over the Padres. And you heard it there from BA on the Brewers TV network of streams. 5-1 on the homestand. Brandon.
Cooking.
Just they were talking.
Couple of outs, couple of pitches away, Trevor, from a 6-game. And then we're talking about a 7-game win streak. Then you know what happens after 7. You start talking about those free burgers.
No, you don't, because if you do, you get crushed. You can't be talking about them too soon. You certainly don't buy them for lunch. I learned that lesson the hard way. All right, so much to get to today inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Brandon Snide in for Josh this morning. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We have a jam-packed show for you today. It's going to be fun. Happy Friday. Happy Quadfecta Day 3. Let's play catch-up.
Packers.
It's out. The schedule's out. Officially out. No more leaks. No more lies. No more where, who, what, how, nothing. It's out, and it was out in epic fashion. First things first, Brandon, your thoughts on the video that the Packers social media team put out to help announce the schedule.
They've been cooking. The social media team has been absolutely cooking for the Green Bay Packers. I thought it was hilarious. I think they incorporated some things that may have been forgotten before, right? In the old mascot. And then obviously having Clay Matthews on there, I thought that was awesome. So this is the social media team's Super Bowls every year, Trevor, where you go across the NFL and every team puts these huge videos together. I think the Chargers video was like over 6 minutes. I didn't watch the whole thing. I thought the Packers one was perfect, and they added a little bit of fun to it. They added the current players. They added some former players, and I thought it was really good. It was well done.
I didn't watch a single other video. None. I just watched the Packers one, and I think I've watched it 5 times now, and I analyzed it story by story, damn near frame by frame. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't miss anything because they often hide stuff in those and you're not sure, right? I have got us covered. We will pick that thing apart in the Malott Meats Morning Mind Dump. Plus, we're going to get all of it off our chest and out of our heads on what the schedule means for the Packers this year, the good, the bad, the ugly. That's coming up at the top of the hour. The I Have Questions portion of the show. We want your record. 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Talk in text line. The way too early, hard to judge, probably not going to come true record of the 2026 Green Bay Packers. Coming up, and I have questions towards the bottom of the hour. For now, let's analyze at a high level, Brandon, more so just about how the schedule shook out in terms of games, times, days, etc. And there was one glaring piece to me right away when the schedule came out. For the first time in my lifetime, at least in my memory, the Packers are not playing on either weekend of the 9-day gun deer season. And that I do not know how to process because there is nothing about deer camp that will feel the same with the Packers not playing on either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday of either weekend with the Wednesday night Thanksgiving Eve game following on the Wednesday. It's weird, dude. Are you a hunter?
No.
Okay, well, I
fish. I don't hunt. I've actually never gone hunting. I know.
I know a guy.
Then I would love to join. I've never gone to a Badger game. So there's a couple bucket list items, buddy. Trevor, we've already established on the show in 2 days, not even.
I don't know if you're following along with the trifecta or quadfecta in this case. I can show you a good time, Brandon, if you'd like to go hunting.
I would
come to deer camp, maybe hit up the Badgers game.
I'd be interested. I would be interested.
So what sticks out to you? Anything really super high level here as we jump in?
I love that they started on the road for the first 2 weeks. And I know a lot of fans will be like, oh, that kind of stinks.
Why do you love that?
Because it packs the back end of the schedule. The 8 of your last 13 games are at Lambeau Field, including your last 2 against Houston and Detroit. Against Detroit at Lambeau could play huge. The NFL tends to do this with the last game of the year, where I know last year it didn't mean anything for the Packers and Vikings, but usually that last game is always a divisional game. And the NFL somehow always gets it right. It usually is between 2 teams either battling for the division or for seeding. So I love that the Packers start out on the road. I think it benefited them a little bit. So we're anticipating Micah won't be in for the first couple of weeks. I think they can beat Minnesota on the road. The Jets are bad. The Falcons, the only thing I don't like about the first 4 weeks, Trevor, is you're opening up at Lambeau Field on a Thursday night, on a short week. It is a primetime game, right? It is that. Yeah. I mean, there is that. You get a boatload of primetime games, 7 for now. How
do you feel about primetime games?
Hate them.
Tell me more. Why?
I put it on my Twitter account. I would love, this is the old school. I wish every game was at noon. I wish every Packers was at noon, selfishly for many reasons. I do a Packers postgame show.
Why do you think I want the games at noon?
Well, you
morning guy.
Yeah, that's rough. You have 7, Trevor, 7 as of right now. Primetime game. That's what the NFL thinks of the Packers. I also like the bye week, though. I'll wrap it up with the bye week. I like that it's week 11. I think the 9, 10, 11 bye week with the extended schedule is kind of the sweet spot. Now, last year we had it week 4, remember, or week 5. It was the first week that they were doing bye weeks. It was so early. And then the year before we had it like week 13 and we were limping into the bye week. So I think this is kind of in the sweet spot for the Packers. And from November 9th till December 5th, they'll play 2 games. So that's a good spot there for the Packers.
There's a couple bookended bye weeks, if you will, right there. So the bye week, week 11, then Wednesday night against the Rams on Thanksgiving Eve. Then they're obviously off the following weekend, come back on December 6th. The same thing is true for the 2 other Thursday nights. So there's a couple spots here where, yes, they play on a bit of a short schedule, but then they get that break. And I think that the Packers will benefit from that break far more than, I don't know, playing every single Sunday, if you will.
Let me ask you this, because I know you have a family. I have a family. Do you like the Christmas Day game against the Bears? I hate holiday games. I hate them.
I mean, we're going to watch it either way. Pick the holiday, it's going to be on.
I know.
I don't know that I care. I don't think it takes away from Christmas Day for my family and I. If nothing else, it enhances it. We kind of do a gift exchange, but kind of not. It's hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at this stage of our life, it's 100% going to be let's eat and get done eating by the time the Packer game starts.
It's just going to, it's either going to make Christmas for me, it's going to break Christmas for me.
Well, there's that. I mean, it's not guaranteed to end well.
It's the Bears. If it was somebody else, it'd be fine. If it was Miami, Cleveland, like it was in years past, it's the Bears. That's the problem I have.
True. Luckily, it's at the Bears because I don't want to have to deal with Lambeau Field on Christmas and the thought of going to that. And what does that mean? It's a Friday, too. So a Christmas Day game on a Friday. We'll talk about that on a Monday, I suppose. Nonetheless, schedule's out. You can find it anywhere. The stations are picked in terms of TV. The times are picked. A couple TBD games. The only other thing that stuck out to me, and I saw this on Twitter along with obviously seeing it in the schedule, 2 away preseason games at the Steelers and at the Broncos, and then home against the Cardinals before they go on the road to start the season away for the first 2 games. The Steelers have 2 home games on their schedule in the preseason. The first one is against the Packers. The second home game is against the Jets. I have questions.
It's funny how that works.
Unbelievable. Are you kidding? Rodgers, come on. Like, stop proving it that you can do whatever you want. The NFL office goes, okay, it sounds good. We don't even know if he's playing yet. But the fact that shook out like that, I'm like, God, here we go.
Yeah, it's funny how that always works out, isn't it?
So many more times in this show, in the next 2 hours and 47 minutes, we will talk about the Packers schedule. Just buckle up, get your record ready for the I Have Questions portion coming up in about 15 minutes. All right, on to the Brewers.
Brewers.
Another series win, a 5-1 homestand. As we beat the Padres yesterday during the day, 7-1. It was day 2 of the quadfecta. I was there with my son's class. We had an absolute blast, except for it got really boring. I'm not going to lie.
That's a good type of boring, though.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I love good games, right? And so when we went up 6-0 after the second, I'm not saying it was over, but I'm also not saying that I didn't, at that point, start to walk around and look for food.
I was going to say, find out what you wanted to eat, because I didn't really give you good answers, because I'm just a brat and hot dog and helmet nachos guy. So I'm glad you found some food. I had time to find some food.
Bought 2 things that had the souvenir item attached to it. Left both of those at the stadium. So there's that. Starting 0-2. I got a hot dog, covered it in stadium sauce. Big fan of that.
Yep.
Got the fries with that. Sneaky good fries. Appreciate that from AmFam Field. Followed that up with an order of cheese curds. Didn't need that at that point. Just didn't.
But that you always need cheese. When is I would have cheese curds right now, Trevor, at 6:13 in the morning.
Too, actually, I'm actually fairly hungry. So I overdid it at the game. Didn't eat dinner last night. Here we go again, like starving in the morning, and we're going to talk about food. The Brewers hitting, not starving. Good to see quite the homestand in terms of hits. And now we take a 5-1 onto the road to the Twins and then the Cubs early next week. My question to you, Brandon, and I got to listen to the entire baseball postgame show with Tim and Tommy. Tim joins us at the 8 o'clock hour, along with Mike Spofford after that, who showed up in that Packers schedule release video, which I have questions on as well. What do we feel was the make or break for the Brewers on this homestand? Because 5-1 against the Yankees and the Padres, Tim and Tommy were talking, is this a turning point in the season? Is it a tipping point? How do you analyze these last 6 games?
I think it is, and I think it was a test. It was a huge litmus test for the Brewers prior to the Yankees coming. Remember, before that, they were in St. Louis. One of those games was rained out, so you split with the Cardinals 1-1, and that was also the series where you started to get some guys back, Jackson Trio, Andrew Vaughn, to be specific, and then you split 1-1 with the Cardinals, and then you're looking at your schedule, and it wasn't just the Yankees, Trevor. I mean, obviously, it is the Yankees, but it was their horses, right? You faced Max Fried, you faced Cam Schlittler, you faced Anthony Rondon. You know, those are the top 3 pitchers for the New York Yankees. So that was a real test for the Brewers in that series. And then you win game 1 against the Padres. You had an off day in between that series between the Yankees and the Padres. You win game 1. And my goal before this was to go into this 6-game homestand, go 4-2. You can go 4-2, kind of get your feet under you, get Jackson Trio's legs under him, Andrew Vaughn. Hopefully we'll talk about another guy that you hope to see better things, health-wise out of. But for me, it was go 4-2 because this is a tough schedule. I think it doesn't get easier, right? You mentioned the Twins and the Cubs on the horizon. It definitely doesn't get easier for the Brewers. So if you went anything below 3-3, really realistically, if you went anything below 4-2, the way the division's shaking out, like you were going to still be playing a lot of catch up. So for me, 2 first-place teams. The Yankees were the best offense coming into American Family Field in all of baseball. And Jacob Mizorowski and the pitching staff completely put them out, put that flame out. And I thought it is a huge point in this season because it also gives the Brewers a little bit of confidence, I think. And I don't think they necessarily needed it, right? You win the division title 3 years in a row, but it shows the Brewers like, yeah, we can do this against the Yankees and we can do this against the Padres, even if we aren't hitting yet on all cylinders.
Are we worried about Yelly?
I'm always a little bit worried about Yelly, if that answers that, but I am worried that the back will know today because Pat Murphy said it will be decided today if it's a non-issue or if it's another IL stint for Christian Yelich. I guess if you want to be positive about it, if it is, Trevor, at least it's May 15th, right? And it's not September 15th.
The eternal optimist in me, which I pride myself on being, and it's impossible to be 100% of the time, but the eternal optimist in me is nervous. I'm wondering if the Christian Yelich we once knew and loved, not that we don't know and love him now, but the player side of it, I'm nervous. That's all.
Well, and that's a part of his career, right? The age that he's at, like I completely agree with it. You hope that it's nothing serious, and we'll know today what happens with Yelly. Hopefully, he's in the lineup.
Miz was on McAfee. Listen to this.
This is absurd what you're doing right now. I remember opening day, there was a 104-mile-an-hour bet that you and I would have had. If you would have been able to lead the season with 104 miles an hour, that would have been absolutely absurd. But it seems like you're damn close, and you've been throwing it.
I'm getting there.
Yeah,
I am, yeah.
So tell me how you feel. Why do you think you've seen this extended amount of speed that you've been feeling? And do you think this is just going to become your new norm forever? Like, is this just what the pitcher you are and who you're going to be?
Yeah, I mean, I sure hope that's the norm. I mean, I think it's more just like adrenaline coming into effect and kind of going that way with it. But no, against the Yankees, like that was definitely straight adrenaline the whole game and was riding on that. So it felt good.
Okay, so tell me about how old are you again?
24.
Okay, so have you obviously been tracking your pitches for when did you hit 100 and how much incrementally do you go up each year? Have you been tracking that? And what is actually possible with you being at 24 right now, hitting the speeds that you're happening? Are we going to continue to build speed, we think? Longevity with the speed that we have? Like, what do we think the forecast is for your arm?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to stay right around this for, as long as I can possibly do it. But, there's no way to tell exactly how long that's going to last. But no, I started tracking speed in junior college. That was when I hit 100 my sophomore year of junior college and in the World Series. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, kind of cool seeing triple digits up here. I bet that would be sweet.
Kind of cool to hit 100 in junior college.
I don't know what you were doing at 19 years old, but hitting 100 wasn't on my radar.
Not mine either.
The Miz, did they end up making a bet?
They did on opening day. I think it was 100,000. Don't quote me.
Yeah, it was. But unfortunately, he didn't hit 104.
No.
Poor Miz, too. Now we got it to the 103.7s of the world in regards to the miles per hour. You round up, that's 104 any other day of the week.
Yeah.
Fun to hear him and his personality. Does he not sound like the most innocent human being ever?
He is. I love him, man. He's just so awesome. I remember him in Biloxi coming up, and I remember the buzz in AA when that was coming up, and then you were like, all right, let's see if it actually comes to fruition, and to see him rise the way that he has been awesome. And he is, I said it yesterday to you, Trevor, without Paul Skeens in the conversation, he's the best pitcher in baseball right now. That's factual.
Anything new in Madison?
Badgers.
Let's be real. No, like it continues to be crickets. It almost isn't worth it putting in. I mean, we'll have to keep it in the catch up for the one day that something happens, but nothing right now to report from Buckyland. Different ball game from the Bucks themselves.
Bucks.
Okay, wait, what? Hold on. Miles Turner spoke, and he spoke a lot in a very short amount of time. He said a lot of things. First things first, apparently Doc didn't fine this past season, maybe ever, for anything.
Doc Rivers, he didn't find anybody. Guys were late all the time. Guys were, showing up to film whenever they wanted to show up. Guys were missing meetings. Like, it was one of the craziest things I personally experienced. We literally, if the plane took off at 2:00, we weren't leaving until 4:30. I'm being so serious, bro. It was crazy, dog. Guys were an hour late to the plane. It got to the point where I knew not to show up until like an hour after they said the plane was taking off. It was crazy.
Oh, that's not good.
No, not at all. Game recognized game. The audio courtesy of Miles Turner spending some time on a podcast. So, okay, that is concerning. But it also shouldn't surprise anyone based on how much of a lack of control it seemed like Doc had on the Bucks.
Giannis is going to show up whenever he wants, really. I think that it's kind of just came with the territory at that. And once I kind of saw what was going down, I was like, hey, man, more power to you. They ain't going to find you. Do what you do.
Okay. And Giannis apparently just did what he wanted. Is this not starting to play out, Brandon? Is this not? Okay. Now I get it. Now I'm starting to understand. Giannis got too big for his britches. Nobody held him accountable. Doc certainly didn't have his finger on the pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks. He was not the leader that the team needed. It was kind of a free-for-all. I've been saying this a while. Josh hates it when I go down this path. Dude, this is so over. It is so over. Giannis is so gone. And the more and more and more that trickles out, not only is he gone, but I think the relationship is massively fractured.
I think it is because I don't think Miles Turner would go on a podcast and say that, right? So he probably knows Giannis is out the door. I said it all year. This is where Josh and I, we would argue in between you guys' show ending, 9 to noon coming on. Him and I would literally get into arguments about Giannis because I think he needs to go. I think you like, and this is a perfect example. You can't be a leader on a basketball team, on any level, Trevor, on any level, and show up when you want to show up, and then and call out your teammates, which Giannis did, calling them selfish. Okay, while Giannis is showing up reportedly hours late, right, and then go to the media after you complained about your teammates, and then go to the media and complain. Well, we want a coach with a championship culture who has a great culture. Dude, 34, you are the culture. You are the leader of the team. You are the leader of the organization. You are the best player in franchise history. It starts and ends with you. I don't care who is coaching the team. That, to me, is inexcusable. You cannot do that if you're Giannis. That's a horrible look. We all knew Doc Rivers, like everybody knew Doc Rivers wasn't great. We knew he needed to go out. He went, right? The Bucks got rid of that. But to hear Miles Turner say Giannis showed up when he wanted to, that hurts, man. That's different. And I hate to see that this is what it's become. But I agree with you. I think number one, I think he's out the door. I think he's been halfway out the door all year long. And number two, I've said it yesterday. It's just time. You just gotta you gotta rip the Band-Aid off, Trevor, and let it go. That's horrible leadership from number 34, in my opinion.
Love the take. Anything else?
Anything else?
It is day 3 of the quadfecta. Buddy, this has been a ride so far, and a good one at that. Shinedown was great. Yesterday, the Brewers, great. Got to leave early with no guilt, which is new for me because I
good.
hate leaving games early.
Yep.
We left when it was 7-0 after the last out in the 7th inning. Have a good one.
Yeah.
I needed to stop eating. It was only a matter of time until I was going to make another mistake. The custard in the mini helmet was where I should have cut it off. I did not. Then I left the damn thing there, which pissed me off. And today, day 3, Luke Combs, Lambeau Field. The pre-gaming starts at 2 p.m. Oof. Pray for me. Yeah, you're telling me.
And you're doing Saturday, correct?
Yep. That's why I'm off on Monday. I'm not dumb.
Well, the good thing is you'll have a little bit of a you can sleep. I don't know if you're able to sleep in because your alarm goes off in the middle of the night for most people. But, I would assume Friday night into Saturday night, you'll be able to catch up on some Z's, hopefully.
I think the condition, the way the night ends tonight, will very much play into my ability to sleep in tomorrow morning.
That's fun, though. And the weather, you heard the weather report there?
Gorgeous.
Dude, like you couldn't have asked for a better set of days, I think, for an outdoor tournament with Luke Combs at Lambeau Field.
We're behind. When we come back, we have questions. The question today, what is the record that you have the Packers finishing the season with based on the schedule coming out yesterday? But before we get to your record, we have to start in Brandon's house. When we come back, I have questions about his new driver, and I need to hear stories that are going to make me feel better, but I think this is trending in the wrong direction, just based on what I know already. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Stay here. Our question of the day and your answers on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. The schedule is out. The 2026 Green Bay Packers schedule is out and official, and we need your way too early, shouldn't even give it to us prediction of what you believe the record is going to be, just purely looking at the schedule. The craziest part about this, Brandon, is that we all know likely we will not have Micah Parsons the first 4 games. He'll start the season on the PUP. That's my bet through and through. If there's a Vegas bet, I would bet on that. I think they go 4-0 to start the season without Micah Parsons.
Wow.
I know. Put your eyebrows down. They went all the way halfway up your head. It's a bit of a stretch. I'll give you that. We'll get to our records in a second. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. We want your record for the 2026 Green Bay Packers based on the schedule. Before we get to that, what is happening in your house with your new driver that I need to be concerned about?
Well, I don't think it's anything that you probably wouldn't expect, but my son was driving. We live in not a super rural area, but like you got to take rural roads to get to where we live, if that makes sense. And was driving, going about 40, 45. I think the speed limit's 45, and had an animal run out in front of him last night.
Okay.
And got his license about, 2 months ago. So fairly new-ish, right? It's been a fun experience. You've experienced it recently. You know,
it's fun, all right.
It's tough to see, but you're happy for them. You're sad on the inside, but you're happy for them. And it was a scary moment last night. I don't think it was he's unsure exactly what the animal was. And it was during the day, which is also kind of scary. So he was shaking up a little bit. The bumper on the front of the car is had some damage, but it's drivable. It's okay.
Wait a minute. How did it get damaged? Did he hit the animal?
Oh yeah. It ran out in front of him and he hit it. Yeah. So it did some damage, cracked, he has a Nissan Rogue. So the front of the bumper is not off, but it's loosened up a little bit, some cracks on it.
Did we go back to see what flavor of animal this was?
Oh, I did. And that's the other thing. I'm sure you probably are familiar, but we have a family that lives on Life 360. So I'm watching.
Oh, I live on that thing is right.
I'm watching everything he's doing because he wants to be a police officer after school. He's finishing up his junior year. So he was in downtown Milwaukee for a cadet meeting to kind of get his feet get his feet wet with that profession and whatnot and see if he was really interested in it. So I wanted to make sure he was getting in and out of downtown safely because downtown Milwaukee, there's a bunch of one-ways. It's chaotic at this, at 4:30, 5 o'clock at night with all the traffic. So I was watching him, and then I see him on 360. He's about 10 minutes from our house, and he is pulled over at a park, goes out of the way. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. So then my wife calls him. He's not answering. I'm like, okay, well, this is weird. Then he finally answers, and he goes, I pulled over to see if my bumper was okay. And we were like, whoa, what?
You buried the lead there.
Yeah.
Bud.
Like, what do you mean? Like, so he had hit this animal while driving and drove another mile to pull over because I think he was just scared right in the moment. You hit a moving animal, like you're a little bit shaken up. And it was, he thinks it was a fox. It was maybe a baby deer. I don't know, but he pulled over. So we're watching him on 360 and we're like, dude, so then we get worried and scared because what did you actually hit? Like, are you sure it wasn't? Are we sure it wasn't somebody?
I know what you're saying.
A person, a bike, or a pedestrian. And so we go back to the area where it hit, and we couldn't find it. We couldn't find the animal at all. But you could see, you could tell on the car that it was an animal. There was fur, there was hair. So
interesting.
Yeah. So it's a scary moment, man, because we've been there, right? I've hit a live animal that shakes you up a little bit.
Somebody told me recently that boys learn from hitting things, which was not helpful for me. And Life 360 is my wife's new television show. Favorite go-to often. We have this, I can't imagine not having it now.
Oh man, for real. And the driving feature on it for underage driver, new drivers under 18, it's phenomenal.
Whoa, I don't know about that.
It tells you the speed, if they're hard excelling.
I know all about. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whether they touch their phone or not.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
So
we're dialed in completely. Yeah. Somebody called me a helicopter parent the other day for this. Listen. If you would have had Life 360 on me when I was his age, you would have been a helicopter parent too.
Well, it's that. And I think too, Trevor, when we were children, when we were newer drivers, we didn't have cell phones like they have now. Like, that's a big distractor. Like, that's a big issue for kids these days. Just being able to go to the mall, right? Like, I know if they're still open, and just look at kids walking through the mall and their faces buried in their phone. Now put them in front of a motor vehicle, in charge of a motor vehicle. Like, it is worrisome a little bit. So you kind of have to be a little bit.
I was 16 years old when I got in my first accident. I was in a hit and run. I hit and I ran.
Yeah.
My car was covered in eggs from homecoming, and I couldn't see a thing. And I bumped into this vehicle right in front of me. No damage to it. Little bit of a dent on mine. And I pulled away, went to the gas station, used the little squeegee thing to clean off my car from eggs, and away we went. So, no Life 360 there.
We wouldn't have been able to have the fun we had.
Nope. There was no egging fun, that's for sure.
Or Ring cameras. That's another one.
Thank you. Thank you. Back in our day. All right. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. What is your record for the Green Bay Packers this season? The 2026 schedule is out. It's not a doozy, but it's not a nothing-z. It's a something. Jeff from Fox Point says, I believe the Packers lose at Tampa, at the Lions, at New England. They lose to Buffalo, at Chicago, and to Houston, and finish this year 11-6. I love the 4 out of the last 5 games at Lambeau Field.
Me too.
Jeff
Huge.
from Fox Point.
Huge.
Well, let's start there then. Week 14, the Bills and then the Dolphins at home, at the Bears for Christmas Day, and that home again for 17 and 18 versus the Texans and Lions. Just that scenario right there. What is your Packers record on your schedule, Brandon?
For just that stretch or the full schedule?
Just that stretch right there.
Well, I think they lose to Buffalo. I think they beat Miami. I don't think Miami comes to Lambeau Field on December 20th and beats the Green Bay Packers. I know Malik Willis can play in the cold, but I don't see that happening. That is a short week for the Packers. So they turn around in 5 days to face the Chicago Bears. I think it's Jeff and Fox Point. I have them splitting with the Bears, and I think that might be the loss at Chicago. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'll put anything on it, Trevor. Houston is not coming to Green Bay, Wisconsin on January 4th and winning a ball game. Do we remember what CJ Stroud looked like in the playoffs in the cold weather? Like, they are not, they have a good defense. I'll give them that, right? That plays in cold weather. It's going to be a low scoring game. Give me Green Bay in that game. And I think they beat Detroit at home as well. So what is that? 5-2?
We are 1 game off, you and I.
I'm going to guess.
I mean,
I
almost identical.
I think I know where you're going.
So almost identical. We're 1 game off. You tell me which one I chose differently.
Chicago.
Nope.
Buffalo then.
Nope.
No. Detroit?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not going to need it. Yep. I don't think we're going to need it.
Okay. I like that.
So I believe that it's exactly the way you just played that out. We will lose to the Buffalo Bills, but I'm going to pause now and say that right there is a Super Bowl 61 preview.
Could be. Yeah.
We'll win against the Dolphins, although my buddy Joel brought up a good point yesterday. Remember, there are many a quarterback that are good afoot that have run all over the Green Bay Packers, specifically in the cold. I would not put it past Malik Willis to give us a significant challenge with his legs and his arm, and I do believe the Packers will win that game. I also think we lose at the Bears on Christmas Day because that's just the way that's going to shake out. We'll beat the Texans, and then I believe, just based on the way the schedule shakes out, we will not need and/or the Lions game will not factor to the point where we're going to need to play the way we believe we need to play in that game, and we'll lose at home against the Lions because it doesn't matter. So now let's go to your entire schedule and give me the record, Brandon.
12-5 overall. And I'll explain exactly where the 5 come. I mentioned how the first 4 games for the Packers shake. I don't like Trevor. I think their first loss is going to be at Tampa. When you see the Florida teams on the schedule, you just hope it's like middle of October or later in the stretch, right? Where it's extremely hot. I think that one is when we find the exact date for that one.
It's October 4th.
October 4th. So I think
that hot.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really hot. So I have the Packers 12-5, the 5 losses. I think they split between Chicago and Detroit. It's going to be really hard The division is really good. It's going to be impossible to go undefeated in the NFC North. So I think they split. I think they beat Minnesota twice, but I think they split between Chicago and Detroit. That gives them 2 losses. They lose in Tampa. That gives them the 3rd loss. I put Buffalo in there as well, as I mentioned earlier. And then I'm not confident in this one because I think they could win in New England, but I look at that one as like, you never know how that one's going to shake out. Is it going to be rainy or snowy? Like, is Mike Vrabel going to be the head coach? I don't know. I don't know if Mike Vrabel knows. So I put that one as my 5th loss as well. I think they go in. A lot of people are circling the LA game. Matt LaFleur's never lost to Sean McVay. So just for what it's worth. And that is the Packers will be well rested in that part of their schedule. So I think the Packers go into LA and beat the Rams. I could see it going the other way, certainly, but the Packers have done really well against Sean McVay in the LA Rams. And let's be honest, that's going to be a home game for the Green Bay Packers out there in Los Angeles.
Even the Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Without question. Yeah.
Okay. I was a little worried about our ability to travel specifically around a holiday like that.
It might even give people more incentive to travel, Trevor, because they're off potentially the next handful of days.
It's also valid. Also sounds like Thanksgiving in your house isn't exactly where you want to be.
I was going to say, I mean, if I could go to warmer weather, yes, I think I would absolutely do that. And let's be honest, Matt LaFleur teams, right? Jordan Love teams, they get up for these big games, right? Like they love these games. So I do think, I think they finished 12-5, and I think that would be enough to win the NFC North. And that might be enough to get the 2 seed in the NFC, right? Like the NFC West is going to beat up on each other a little bit. It's a really good division. I don't think the NFC East is really good. So the NFC South isn't great either. So I think 12-5.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text Line. When we get back, I'll share my record and we'll share more of yours. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The most electrifying sound of the day is next as well. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Packy Packer? The short-lived 1980s team mascot? Clay Matthews?
What is the Claymaker doing here?
I wanted to battle test you to get you ready for the season, but I just got off the phone with the president. He asked me to pass a message along. It is time.
It is time. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
OMG! I get to keep the costume, right?
That is incredible. And that is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. And Trevor, that was awesome for many different reasons. That was the voice of Clay Matthews as the Packers release on social media their 2026 schedule. Fantastic job done by the social media team and the Claymaker himself making an appearance.
Along with Leroy Butler and so much else. I broke it down scene by scene. We'll get to that and play that release for you in its entirety as we start the top of the next hour. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brandon Snide in for Josh again this morning as we review the Packers schedule and get your takes on what you think the record is going to be. 414-677-1250. That's the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. And that is the question of the day. What is the Packers record? Brandon has them at 12-5. There's a few games you and I disagree on, but not much, it looks like.
That's
to be
good.
honest.
Great minds think alike.
I mentioned it earlier that I believe the Packers start 4-0, and I understand that there going to be a loss, it's at Tampa.
Yeah.
I concur. I don't have them losing that game, clearly. Otherwise, I wouldn't have them starting 4-0. But here's another tick to this. Remember, the Packers without Micah Parsons, those last 5 games, were in significant leads and just couldn't close the door. I think they've learned from that. This is wishful thinking a little bit, and fingers crossed and toes and all those things, so that they actually know how to close out a game. And if we keep playing the way we were to start the first 4 games of the year without Micah Parsons, I think we find a way to win, which will be the telling tale. It really will. If we can get through those games and stay healthy and prove to the NFL that we know what we're doing without Micah Parsons, look out. Look out. I believe the first loss comes in week 8 against Carolina. I know.
Carolina, really?
7 in a row, and then we're going to have that turd of a game.
Yeah, it figures. That happens.
We're going to lose then back-to-back against New England, take a win into the bye, therefore we sweep Minnesota. I think we come out of the bye and lose in L.A., and then it goes every other the rest of the way out. Lose in L.A. only because he's 5-0. Yeah. If we would not have talked about that statistic, I'm not saying you and I'm just saying in general, I think it's fine. But now we know, and of course he's going to lose. Win in New Orleans, lose at home against Buffalo, but I really do think that that's a preview of the Super Bowl. We win against the Dolphins at Lambeau, lose at Chicago on Christmas Day, win at home against the Texans, and lose in Week 18 against the Lions because I don't think we're going to need to play our starters. We win the North at 4-2. We finish the season at 11-6, and I believe this is potentially the year.
It is time.
That gave me goosebumps, man.
That because it's 2 things, right? It's obviously what he did during the draft last year, but it's what Kevin Green told him in the Super Bowl, man. That's an iconic moment. If you're a Packer fan, you know exactly what that was. So shout out to the Packers social media team.
Jeremy in Wausau says, I'm hoping for 12-5, but it's probably more like 10-7. There's an 11-6 from the 4-1-4. Did you forget who the coach was? 4-0 to start the season in the 2-6-2. I get that. 7 in a row again from the 2-6-2 that says with this coach, I get that. Wishful thinking, eternal optimist. I'll leave it at that. When we come back, it's the Malott Meats Morning Mind Dump. We have a ton to get to in regard to the Packers schedule release, the good, the bad, the ugly. We'll keep previewing it and play that entire release video for you to start the 7 o'clock hour. Don't go anywhere. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Welcome to Kicking Cards Arcade.
You only have enough tickets for those cheese curd rings or that foam cheese sword.
You're like 1,000 tickets short, Tuck.
Not if we pool all of our tickets together, Josh. It glows. Tickets. Gonna get my dagger.
What's that?
Let's go see.
Kidding me.
We're trapped.
That's right. And if you want to make it out in time for the 2026 season, you'll have to beat the Game Master at his own game.
That's hard, bro.
Let's go. War! Guys, I'll be right there. Can't you count faster?
You're one mother-loving ticket short.
One ticket?
Hey, Tucker.
Leroy Butler?
I think you dropped this, Tuck.
Aha! Thank you, thank you, and thank you. We do this.
Yeah, we do. Go, Pack, go!
Your childhood homes burned to the ground.
Gotta wake up with your hot.
Beverly?
There's no escape.
Tuck's down there somewhere. Got it.
My turn. Stick on. And there's your dagger.
Let's go. This is unnecessary roughness.
That's hard, bro.
Packy Packer? The short-lived 1980s team mascot?
Clay Matthews? What is the Claymaker doing here?
I wanted to battle test you to get you ready for the season, but I just got off the phone with the president. He asked me to pass a message along. It is time.
It is time. Let's go, baby.
OMG!
I get to keep the costume, right?
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in hour 2 inside Wisconsin Sports. Brandon, the hair is standing up on my arm, man.
That was awesome.
Absolute chills from the Packers video schedule release. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Find it wherever you do your socialing. Trevor Thomas, Brandon Snide in for Josh Albrecht this morning inside Wisconsin Sports live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's the best 2.5 minutes I've spent in quite some time.
Well done.
I thought that was a fantastic video, a fantastic release for the Packers schedule. Somebody asked earlier if I'd ever seen any of the others in terms of this season. Did you spend time? I personally did not. Did you?
I didn't know. I'd watched 2, but I didn't finish watching all of them. The Chargers was really long. The Colts had a good one, like a Simpsons type video that they did with their schedule release. So I thought that was kind of cool, but I didn't finish. I thought the Packers' length was perfect. That's the thing. The Chargers, Trevor, was 6 minutes intense. That's a long schedule.
Yeah, buddy, the ADHD in me had to watch the Packers one 4 times, let alone all of that. All right, man, it's time for the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump. We will dissect the good, the bad, the ugly of the Packers 2026 schedule. And also, I went frame by frame through the entire schedule release video because I love the little intricacies that you find within these things. I wrote down quite a bit. I have questions on some. I think I understand some of the other hidden messages, if you will. We'll get to all of it right now. Time for the Malott Meets Morning Mind Up.
I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
The coffee has kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as bad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We've got no food, we've got no jobs, Our pets' heads are falling off!
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump, presented by Malott Meats. High-quality meats at a fair price, safely delivered to your front door. To learn more, visit wisconsinmeatmarket.com. Experience the power of the family meal with Malott Meats on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
So I've mentioned I'm doing the quadfecta. 2 days done, 2 days to go. Today is day 3, Luke Combs. Lambeau Field tonight, Luke Combs, Lambeau Field tomorrow. Today, we're going with 2 families that are our family. Tomorrow, we're going with a bunch of great friends that are also neighbors. And some of them are quickly becoming members of our family. Today, we don't want to deal with the tailgate. It's a lot of friggin' work.
It is.
It just is. Tomorrow, the neighbors have put together a tailgate, so we'll hang with them while they do that and then move forward. The tailgate Grill Master Box and the tailgate Jumbo Grill Master Box from Malott Meats, phenomenal. If you have any tailgating plans in your future, head to wisconsinmeatmarket.com and look it up. The Grill Master Box, the Jumbo Grill Master Box, I don't care where you live, across the state of Wisconsin or frankly across the country. This will be safely delivered to your front door in a manner in which you'll be impressed. We took one of these Grill Master boxes down for spring break to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, to prove to all of you that I back up what I say you should do. And the product was phenomenal, completely frozen, good to go. You have nothing to worry about. For high-quality meats at a fair price, safely delivered to your front door, head to wisconsinmeatmarket.com and experience the power of the family meal with Malott Meats. I broke down that video, Brandon, in epic form. 2.5 minutes of my life that I will repeat over and over because I thought it was really that good. We'll dissect the schedule. We'll dissect the video. We want all of your feedback on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line at 414-677-1250. Coming up in the top of the next hour, Tim Allen joins us, the franchise himself, the baseball postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, and a 5-1 home series for the Milwaukee Brewers, coming off Yankees and Padres and starting today in Minnesota against the Twins before they go to Chicago with another team that we'll talk about next week. We'll also talk to Mike Spofford from Packers.com, who, in case you haven't seen the video, you need to head to social media, search the Green Bay Packers, watch the schedule release video that their social media team put out, because it is phenomenal and there's a lot of hidden messages. One of which is when the spinning wheel shows up on screen and the players are spinning it to see what's coming or what's next or how, whatever the meaning was behind that. Very Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like there for a second. There were things on that wheel that I thought were fascinating. The first one we had to bleep out because we don't think we can say that word on the radio.
Yeah, we weren't sure. Playing it safe.
It's one of the 7 words that George Carlin said you can't say. I trust him.
I would agree.
Then there was other words on there that I'm like, well, I don't want to say those either. But there was one in particular that said Mike Spofford. Amongst the others on there that are not rated G, I would say that some of these aren't even PG-13. I mean, LaFleur's wink, Larry's pinky finger, love it. Clay Matthews' bun. There's a question mark that they landed on, which brought out that whole Packy Packer thing. And then Mike Spofford. What? One of these things is not like the other. We got questions. Spoff will join us at 8:25, along with, we'll talk about the schedule. So let's do that now as well. The Malott Meats Morning Mind Dump. Get it all off your chest and out of your head as you start the weekend, Wisconsin. The good, the bad, the ugly. Could you break it down for us that way? What's good about the schedule? What do you like? What's bad about the schedule? What don't you like? And what do you think is absolutely ugly? Per a season ticket holder from the 920, who's been a season ticket holder for 36 years, said this is by far the worst green package schedule. 1 noon game, 4 December games with 2 at night. Really? The NFL should have made Green Bay give up an international game with a schedule like this. This is terrible, they said. Well, this is very cake and eat it too, Brandon, because we want the Packers to be featured as a team that's winning and should be featurable. Mark Murphy said on the record during one of the shareholder meetings years ago that if we're playing a bunch of games at noon, then we're a crappy team. This year, not a whole lot of games at noon, specifically at home, like 2. Your camera just fell. Like 2. So what do we want? Now, I and Brandon both agree. I very much love noon games at Lambeau Field. Okay. With that being said, I think it's to our benefit that we play in a lot of these prime time games. But I feel your pain, green package season ticket holder, because night games are no bueno for a morning guy. It is what it is, though. And I love it. I absolutely love it. What are your thoughts on that, Brandon? Night games versus noon games, specifically for the green package, knowing that the gold package has a Bears game at 3:25 in October and the Vikings game at noon in November, plus the obvious Arizona Cardinals game at home in the preseason.
I have to go back and look at the schedule, but I think it was flipped last year. I think the gold package had the night games as well. I could be mistaken with that. Off the top of my mind, it feels like that's what it was last year. But again, there's a lot. I mean, you can nitpick anything on a schedule, Trevor, right? Like there's always going to be things that are good, that are not good, that you wish were differently, with the schedule and how it falls down and when the Packers play and what time they play. I'm a noon guy. 3:25 is fine with me, but for the most part, I love my noon games. I don't have really a ton of issues with the schedule, to be quite honest with you. I like that they're on the road to begin the season. I think without Micah Parsons for the first few weeks, potentially, I also wouldn't bet against Micah Parsons. I'm not going to go down that road because that's a guy that just seems to be, if his back is against the wall, he'll fight through it. But if you're telling me without Micah, you're going against Minnesota, New York, Atlanta, and Tampa Bay, like you should go 3-1 in that stretch. The only gripe, one of the real gripes I have is the home opener is a Thursday night. I don't like that. That to me is, I don't know if I would call it the ugly, but that's the bad part of it. I think that kind of takes away a little bit from the home opener, right? Like last year, you remember last year, like the crowd pop for Micah Parsons when he came out in week 1 against the Lions. Like you might have that against the Land on that Thursday night. But let's say hypothetically Micah misses the first 4 weeks, Trevor. Do you know who's next? The game at Lambeau Field where he would come out of that tunnel and who they are playing up against? You may never hear a crowd pop, unless you win a Super Bowl, of course, but you may never hear a crowd pop that loud. If that's Micah's first game back,
good call,
and it's against Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears, like, I don't know. I really don't mind the schedule. 4 of your last 5 games are at home. Like, I understand people are talking about like nighttime at Lambeau in December. That's what we want, though, man. When you have these warm weather teams, Miami and Houston, coming into Lambeau Field at night at Lambeau, I'll take that. Miami, I guess, is during the day, but Miami or Houston's at night. I'll take that. I think that's an advantage for the Green Bay Packers.
The 262 says, Trevor, you take the day off after games anyways. You're soft. Well, first off, no, I take every once in a while a Monday off after a quadfecta. Yeah, doing that. And number 2, I know I'm soft. That's not even offensive. Like I've admitted repeatedly that I'm soft. So thanks. We're good. We're good. I thought the schedule was near perfect, which agrees with you, Brandon, from the 262. No tough games in the first 4 weeks. Week 1 against the Vikings before the QB situation's figured out. And we don't play the Cowboys or Bears until Parsons gets back.
Right.
Plus, I like the cold weather games against the warm weather teams like the Texans and the Dolphins. I completely agree. There's not much I don't like about the schedule. I think there's a lot of good things that fell the Packers' way, and I think it's going to lead to a lot of good outcomes. The Bears and Cowboys back to back. You want to talk about crowd pops, right? You are absolutely right, Brandon. The Bears at home with Micah Parsons being that first game back. Again, we don't know that for certain. And Jeff Hafley was quick to say that he wouldn't be surprised if Micah Parsons set records and came back sooner and quicker than anyone else ever from an ACL tear. But then to have the Cowboys at home that very next game, then you head to the Lions, but then you're back home against Carolina, which I think is trappy, a little trappy.
Could be. Yep.
I like the fact that we're playing New England at New England this year. I think Elliott Wolf has a thing or two to say about how he believes the Packers are being ran in comparison to the way he would have loved them to be ran when he applied for the GM job, and Goody got it. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Now the 262 follows back up with, I just love giving you crap, man. Be rad from the Shaw. Brother, I get it. I love it. Brandon, I don't know about you, man, but from a man card perspective, there's not much you can say about me that would be like, oh man, you're so wrong.
You got to have thick skin in this business too. Period.
Totally,
Point blank. Period.
You're required to. I adjusted my mic volume for the 262. Thanks for your feedback. Appreciate that. Ugly is the season opener on CBS. Okay, that I concur with as well.
I just hate CBS games in general.
I do too.
I don't know what it is either. It just doesn't feel like it's natural, right? Like it feels like you should have Fox. It should be, I know they're on ESPN, but if, Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, like, and I know they're not on the network on Fox anymore, but that just feels like home for the Packers. Like that just feels like Kevin Burkhardt, I guess, and now Tom Brady are in the top broadcasting duo for Fox. So it just feels like Fox is more of the natural fit for the Packers.
The 262 says, Trevor, 11-6 is about right. How many home losses do you have? I have 3 home losses. I have 6-3 at home. Those home losses are against Carolina. I think it's a trap game. It is home against Buffalo, and it's the last game of the season at home against the Lions. 4-2 in the NFC North, 11-6 overall, 6-3 at home. What about you on the home games, Brandon?
I think it folds well for you if you're a Packer fan. Like you get Chicago and Dallas. That's a tough stretch, right? That Chicago, Dallas, Detroit stretch is tough, but you get 2 out of 3 of those at Lambeau Field, back to back against Chicago and Dallas. And again, the more home, I know people don't like starting on the road. I know they don't like going on CBS. I get that. But I think I said this yesterday. If not, I said it on 9 to noon. I wanted the first few weeks on the road because I want to pack those home games at the end of the year. And you're getting Buffalo at home. You're getting Miami at home. You're getting Houston at home and finishing up against Detroit at home. I think I don't really have a ton of complaints. The only complaint, as far as it's not even a complaint about the home game, Trevor, and it's just something that I have to deal with from a fan and family perspective, is I just hate playing on holidays, and the Packers draw the Chicago Bears, of course, on that Friday, which is Christmas. So but that's just how it's going to be. I'm glad they don't play actually on Thanksgiving. They play the day before. But I think you drew a great home schedule if you're the Green Bay Packers, and you're not really playing a marquee home game, meaning a top opponent, until you potentially have everybody back, meaning Micah Parsons, Tucker Kraft, and I would imagine Zach Tom will be healthy as well. And obviously they're going to have their own set of injuries along the way with training camp in the first few weeks, but you're going to potentially be at full strength when your schedule starts to get tough at home against the Chicago Bears on October 11th. I think they'll handle business, that home opener on Thursday, the September 24th against the Atlanta Falcons. We don't even know who their quarterback's going to be for Atlanta. Right. So like, I like the home schedule a lot. I don't really have a ton of complaints. I think it's good. I think it's folded well for the Green Bay Packers. I like the bye week there at week 11. And I don't really have a ton of complaints, to be quite honest with you. I think every schedule is tough, Trevor. Go look across the NFL. The Lions finished their final 3 weeks, Trevor. I think 2 are on the road. 2 of the 3 are on the road, all against divisional opponents. They play the Packers, the Bears, and the Vikings. That's tough. I mean, everybody's schedule's tough.
Per our conversation about CBS being the Packers season opener carrier of the game, the 608 says CBS is the Walmart of networks for football.
I like Jim Nantz, though. Can we agree on Jim Nantz for CBS?
Do you not like Tony Romo?
I do like Tony Romo. I was just going to say I like both those. If that's the crew, I'm guessing.
Well, I think it's got to be, right? It's the 325 game.
Guessing it will be.
Yeah, game of the week.
I would imagine. I don't mind that crew whatsoever. I remember the one thing that comes to mind, though, is the game against Denver last year, because we were I think it was Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on that call, and that's when we lost Micah for the year in Denver. Then we thought we lost Christian Watson. He was taken away in an ambulance in Denver. So I think that's the last, or maybe they played, no, because the Ravens were not on CBS that night. That was a night game. So I think that was the last time the Packers played on CBS. So that game sticks in my mind a little bit, which is not a great memory, but, we'll move on.
Jacob in a van says CBS should be reserved for crappy AFC teams at noon, like the Jags and Titans.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that.
920, Buffalo played bad on the road last year. I think we take that one. That's fair. I also think, for what it's worth, that's a Super Bowl preview.
I like that. Yeah, I like
Packers, Bills, Super Bowl. Now, remember, I have been on the record, Brandon, I'm not sure if you know this. Last year, I was unimpressed with Matt LaFleur's coaching abilities and thought the Packers needed to move on and or should have moved on. And the eternal optimist in me says, okay, and away we go. Didn't happen, right? I also said that if the Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl this season with this head coach and this setup and this game management, that I will eat crow live on the air. I will. If the Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl, I have done many a research already on how to prepare crow so I don't gag and barf. I will eat crow on the air, and I won't even take that Monday off.
But they have to win the Super Bowl. They can't just get to the Super Bowl?
That's correct. They have to win it. It will be the greatest and worst day ever afterwards.
I was going to say, that would be worth it, though. I would just sign up to do it just if that means the Packers could win the Super Bowl or at least get there.
You want to eat crow with me?
I'll do it if they win.
But
I'm against the grain because I don't mind Matt LaFleur. I think he's a good. I think he. There
are.
You're
going to say I don't mind crow. You've had crow before?
No, I have not. Well, I was in the Army for a while. I wasn't. I don't know. It potentially could have been crow if I'm being honest. I don't really know what I ate. But I don't. I think he's a fine coach. Like, he's got issues. I think every coach does, though, right? Like Dan Campbell. Everybody loves Dan Campbell. He's the reason the Lions didn't go to the Super Bowl in 2023. So, like, there's issues with every coach, and again, you can find it with everyone. But I don't mind Matt LaFleur. He wins, and we got to see it in the postseason. There's no doubt about it. But I think some of that onus too, Trevor, falls on the players. Like, they got to perform as well in those big moments, and we just haven't seen those games. Those players elevate in those roles. Jordan Love in 2023 certainly did. Aaron Rodgers didn't with Matt LaFleur in 2020 or 2021. Like, it's not always on LaFleur. It's not always on the coaching. I've talked to John about this, John Kuhn on 9 to Noon. A lot of it is overrated. Like, looking at coaching can be overrated. Some of it is on the players. So I don't mind LaFleur. He has his faults. There's no doubt about it. But I think if you were to look at Matt LaFleur, he's a top 10 coach in football right now.
The only reason that I feel that way strongly about the way the season ended was because the players did their part. It just was not managed well. And they let so many of those games slip away, specifically the one against the Bears to end the season.
Don't disagree.
All right. When we come back, we'll continue your feedback on the 2026 NFL schedule and specifically the 2026 Green Bay Packers schedule. Plus, it is a top 5 Friday on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Who are the top 5 artists that can sell out Lambeau Field without question on back-to-back nights? Luke Combs tonight and tomorrow night at Lambeau Field, not sold out. I got to be honest, I had him on my list. I'm wrong. So who is on your list that would unequivocally sell out Lambeau Field 2 nights in a row on a top 5 Friday on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh? Brandon in today for Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
When everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know. quarter to 12, man, I done had plenty. The countdown's on when the first beer hits me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, too many.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brandon Snide in for Josh today. A little Luke Combs to get us ready for a weekend and a half at Lambeau Field. It is day 3 of the quadfecta. And tomorrow's day 4. Somebody said earlier on the Nicolay Law talking text line. Did you see them talking trash?
I was going to bring it up. I saw that.
677-1250. This is not a quadfecta. It's a trifecta. You're doing the same concert back to back. First off, those are fighting words.
It's still an event. I mean, you're still doing it.
Secondly,
it counts.
Here's my theory as to why I'm going both nights. Morgan Wallen was at US Bank Stadium not long ago. The first concert he scheduled was on Saturday. It sold so well that he booked a Friday night show. My family and I went up for the Friday night show and saw them, and it was fantastic. But the OG on the schedule was Saturday. Friday night, Morgan Wallen did his thing, did the walkout, all the stuff, right? Well, Saturday night, the originally scheduled show, he had a bunch of guests come on, and Eric Church was there, and like a bunch of stuff that he would have had planned for both shows had he planned both shows. The same thing may happen this weekend. We refuse to miss it this time. So tonight we're going, and this is the, it sold so well that we need to add another show. Tomorrow night's the original show. I'm not saying he won't bring out the theatrics tonight, but we didn't want to risk it. So I don't expect tomorrow's show to be identical to tonight's show. And therefore, it's a quadfecta, not a trifecta.
Do you think he's going on a stadium tour? He's got to, right? I would imagine he's going on a stadium tour.
Luke Combs?
Like Lambeau Field tour. Oh, yeah. Got to take him through the Hall of Fame.
God, yeah. I think he's probably already done that.
I was going to say he's already been up there.
After the Bird game, when we got back to the boys' school, St. Mark, our last week at St. Mark, I'll tell you more about that next week. We could hear them sound checking. Oh, I'm like, oh yeah,
That's
here we go. Here we go. All right, a top 5 Friday on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brandon in for Josh. Who are the 5 artists, the top 5 artists that you believe unequivocally, without question, would sell out Lambeau Field 2 nights in a row? Luke Combs not selling out Lambeau Field 2 nights in a row. I thought for sure he would be able to do that. I'm sadly mistaken. Brandon, who are the top 5 artists that you believe unequivocally, without question, would sell out Lambeau Field 2 nights in a row? Take us 5-1.
5-1. Bruno Mars at number 5, just because it's a heck of a show and people love him. I think he's absolutely going to sell it out. Justin Bieber, number 4, because I'm not a believer or Bieber, whatever they're called. Belieber. I don't know if that's the right term. But he is like, he will absolutely sell out. People will drive from across the country to go see him at Lambeau Field. Number 3, Post Malone. I saw him, Trevor, in Wrigley Field, and I think it was a 2-day concert, and it was sold out. I think we did the Friday night one. I think he was there Saturday as well in 2025 with Jelly Roll, and I think Post Malone easily. Those posties, man, that's a real thing. They love that dude. Number 2 and number 1. I'm not going to surprise anybody with any of these, and we probably have them in the same order, if not at least the same 2. Taylor Swift, number 2. I think she could sell out anywhere in the world. And then Morgan Wallen, number 1, who has already sold out across the country in stadium tours, as you mentioned, just in Minnesota for 2 days. I think he was in Indy for the last weekend, selling out 2-day concerts. So 5, I have Bruno Mars. 4, Justin Bieber. 3, Post Malone. 2, Taylor Swift. And number 1 right now, maybe the hottest artist out there, whether you like him, you hate him, you don't like country music, whatever, Morgan Wallen, number 1.
Okay, so I should have prefaced this. You followed directions perfectly. I did not give everybody the same directions. They have to be touring. They have to be tourable. Somebody just said Elvis. Hate to break it to you. Not going to make it.
Unfortunately. But yes, he would.
Yes, he would. 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Talk and text line. We continue to break down the Packers schedule. But here on a Top 5 Friday with Luke Combs coming to Lambeau Field this weekend, who are the 5 artists that you believe would sell out Lambeau Field? Here's my list. You and I only share 2.
Okay.
Now, let me just dissect your list here for a hot second. Bruno Mars, great pull. Definitely wouldn't have thought of that one. I think you're right. Would I go to both? Probably not. But I do think he could sell it out 2 nights in a row. Bieber, I have questions about. Like,
They still love Bieber, though. They love they love him.
That might be the same for Post Malone, too. I'm not a Posty guy, but I believe that could be the case. Again, honorable mention, Luke Combs. I'm super jacked for the next 2 days. I'm shocked he didn't sell it out 2 nights in a row, but whatevs. Number 5, Morgan Wallen. I completely agree. I think he is the ticket right now. I would love to see him at Lambeau Field. A conversation for a different day. What 2 Packers do you believe he would do the walkout with? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
He played Camp Randall Stadium the second night because that was originally the OG night. He walked out with Favre. So I think that'd be cool. Number 4, I have an A and a B. You'll understand. 4A, the Backstreet Boys. And they are playing together right now. And they're selling out the Sphere at record numbers. I'm actually going to go back and see them for the second time, no judge, in August because that show was unbelievable.
I saw him in 98, so I'm with you.
98 at the Bradley Center?
I did.
I was there. That was my first concert ever.
Mine too.
I should have admitted to that. Really?
Oh yeah.
God.
I mean, I was only like 9, but nonetheless.
It was the loudest concert I've ever been at. The screaming was absurd.
It was nuts.
Okay, so Backstreet Boys 4A. 4B, I'm going against my own rule here. If NSYNC decided to run it back, they would sell it out 2 nights in a row for sure, if not a week straight, to be honest. Number 3, you had it, Taylor Swift. But my top 2, you didn't have, and I have questions. Number 2, Metallica. You don't think so?
2 nights? 2 nights, though? Are they still...
Metallica?
Yeah, no, totally agree. Like the band, I get it. But like, it's got to be... Are they... Correct me if I'm wrong. Are they making new music right now?
I don't know if they're making new music, but they just booked at the Sphere themselves.
They'll definitely sell out
at least
one.
Playing.
But it's that second night that's the difference. That's the set. That's the one where I'm like, maybe I would definitely go number 1, but would it go 2 nights? Like, I don't know. I don't know if it would sell out 2 nights at this point. Like, if they're not making current new music, because the attention span of people these days is that of a fly. So I don't know.
Number 1, this also didn't make your list. Garth Brooks.
But here's my I have questions for your list.
Okay.
He's doing Summerfest, and you can still get tickets at Summerfest.
It's Tuesday and Wednesday night.
It would sell out without a doubt one night. I'm telling you, that second night is the question, man. You got to be hot to sell out that second night. Like, you got to be Taylor Swift,
Brooks
Morgan Wallen.
Lambeau?
Oh, it would be a blast, no doubt about it. He played at Mile High when I lived in Denver a few years ago, handful of years ago. But I only think he did 1 night in Denver. I don't think he did 2. So again, but you're playing it's a different crowd too, right? Like he hasn't made new music in quite a bit. So is that going the big, if Luke Combs, which you and I agree, I love Luke Combs, isn't selling out Lambeau, currently making new music, would argue top 3, top 4, definitely top 5 country music artist right now, isn't selling out back-to-back nights. Are we sure Garth Brooks, as great as he is, and I know people will call me all kinds of names, are we sure he draws 80,000+ in back-to-back nights? I don't know.
Oh, man, I don't know how he doesn't.
I don't know.
By the way, I don't think it's 80,000, by the way. This might help your theory.
Okay.
Lambeau does not allow stages in the round.
Oh, okay.
No trucks on Lambeau Field.
Okay, that definitely.
So the end stage is the setup for Luke Combs. It's the only time on a stadium tour he's doing that's not in the round because you cannot put something on the G.
Okay.
So it's not as many tickets as you might think, but all right, valid argument. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Here we go. B Hintage in West Dallas. All right, I thought about a few bands. a few country singers, but I think we all know the first person we would expect. Search your soul. You know it to be true. Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
It is the truth.
I think she could do a week straight. If I'm being honest.
Well, she proved it. Yeah. It's we should have left her off the list. Like we all know, Taylor Swift can sell it out 19 nights in a row, whatever. This is Jeff from Fox Point. Groups who could sell out Lambeau Field. Billy Joel, Elton John. Pause. They did tour together, and they're not anymore. Paul McCartney, I think, sold it out one night at Lambeau Field. 2 nights, maybe. We'll see. Rolling Stones, are they still touring? If they are, I think that's true as well. I think Rolling Stones could sell them out 2 nights in a row.
I think they probably could too, but I don't know if they're touring anymore.
Kevin in Utah. Pink Floyd would sell out Lambeau Field 2 nights in a row. They sold out County Stadium. Saw them there back in the day. Camp Randall also saw them there. A top 5 list on a top 5 Friday. The top 5 bands / artists that you believe would sell out Lambeau Field 2 nights in a row. Kevin in Utah. Chris in Little Chute. Top 5 acts. Taylor Swift. Garth Brooks. Bruce Springsteen. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one either.
I don't know.
Maybe 10 years ago?
I have my reasons.
Yeah.
I just don't want to talk about them on the radio. Sabrina Carpenter, which I also don't necessarily think.
I don't think she's doing 2 nights.
Metallica.
I don't think Sabrina Carpenter's doing 2 nights. That's the key, man. Like the one night, okay. Most people probably can. You're going to have enough fan bases or enough fans in that area to draw a night. It's that second one that is really the big question. Like that's the one where you're like, I don't know, like that's a lot. It's really hard to sell out 2 nights in a row. And if Luke Combs can't do it, I have questions.
There are more lists that we're going to share with you when we get back. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Branded in for Josh on a Top 5 Friday, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll talk Schedule 2.
The Queen of Spice is heating up breakfast at Wendy's with new items like their jalapeno sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, jalapeno bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, and spicy side twist of jalapeno bacon seasoned potatoes. Available for a limited time, so get a bite while you can and spice up your morning at Wendy's. Trevor, you might need some Wendy's tomorrow after you wake up after partying with Luke Combs.
100% chance I'm going to need some Wendy's tomorrow.
Get some grease in you after a long night.
Yeah. Yep, 100% chance that's the truth. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh. Brandon in for Josh today. On a Top 5 Friday, the top 5 artists that you believe would sell out Lambeau Field 2 nights in a row. Unfortunately, Luke Combs not able to do so at the current time. There's still time, but at the current time, not so much. We gave our lists: Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber, Post Malone, Taylor Swift, Morgan Wallen was Brandon's list. Mine was Morgan Wallen, the Backstreet Boys, which, pause, somebody said, Backstreet Boys? Give me your man card. Okay, bud. You want to go with me to the Sphere to watch the Backstreet Boys in August? It is a whiteout, Brandon. My wife and one of our best friends and about 30,000 other, I don't know how many of these seat, 30,000 other women wearing all white. But by all means, take my man card. You're out of your mind. Taylor Swift, Metallica, Garth Brooks was on my list. Many people for the Garth Brooks, but also against the Garth Brooks. Somebody even said that they didn't believe a country artist could sell out Lambeau Field once, let alone 2 nights in a row. Highly disagree with that.
Morgan Wallen could sell out the week out at Lambeau if you wanted to.
There's some other ones on these lists that we're going to buzz through here quick. Mike this is Matt in the MKE. He lists the Foo Fighters, and he also lists Coldplay. I think both of those are really good takes.
Yeah, they are.
That would be able to sell out 2 nights in a row. The 920 says Johnny Cash. Well, not touring. That person also said Elvis, but that was before I guess I gave the rules specifically there. Who else do we see here? Alan Jackson, according to the 920. Maybe, especially on like a goodbye tour, which I think is what he's doing now.
I don't know if 2 nights, though, man. It's that second night, Trevor. That's the one thing you can. I think most can do 1. It's being able to do 2. You really got to have a draw. You really got to be, I think, really at the top of your game right now. Prime Allen? Sure, probably. I don't know about right now.
All right, I'm going to rattle a bunch of these off. You tell me yay or nay. The 920, this is Todd and Townsend. Lady Gaga.
No.
Man, I thought there was a chance in that one. Dave Matthews Band.
I think probably. That one's close.
That one's pretty close.
Yeah.
They have a cult-like following.
They do. That's why I say probably.
What about Beyonce and Jay-Z?
Beyonce, I thought of putting on my list. It made my honorable mention. So did Drake, but I don't know if it's the 2 nights.
Does Beyonce need Jay-Z?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I think she does.
She sold out Soldier Field. So I think she can absolutely.
We're talking about 2 nights in a row, though.
That's the question. I know. That's why your top 5 is really good, because it is a very good conversation. What about Eminem? This is from the 414. What about Eminem?
Jeez. I think yes, but if he doesn't play the hits, no.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of these artists coming out. Hey, let me play you 6 songs in a row that are brand new that you're not going to know. Have a great night.
That's what Red Hot Chili Peppers did for the Harley Homecoming a couple of years ago. It was brutal. People that were there to see them, like that were diehard fans. I wasn't, but they were diehard fans were walking out because they were playing their new songs that nobody knew of.
Kenny Chesney could probably do it again. He did it before.
Yeah.
I know he did it at AmFam Field as well. Rice Cake says, if you guys are missing the Foo Fighters, David Grohl sells out all the damn time. Also, I don't know about Garth Brooks, but I'm sure Chris Gaines would. That's funny. Do you get that joke?
Yeah.
That's funny. Here's one from the 608. I mean, if they're touring, I think you too would do it. I think so too. That's a really great take.
Yeah, if they're touring for sure.
I saw you two at the United Center in Chicago, and then I also saw you two at the Sphere. They're unbelievable in concert. Highly political.
That's the other problem with
hurts some of these ticket sales.
Well, you split your audience a little bit.
Lil Wayne, maybe. I doubt it.
Not 2 nights. No way. I don't think he sold out Pfizer Forum, if I'm not mistaken. What about Jelly Roll?
Grande, Jelly Roll would. I think that's a good one. Kid Rock, Chris Stapleton. The list goes on. We'll ask Tim Allen. He's a big music guy.
Yeah, he is.
He joins us next on Inside Wisconsin Sports to talk some Brewers and now a little music. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Time for your fan weather update brought to you by Milwaukee Area Napa Auto Care Association. Some clouds this morning will give way to generally sunny skies this afternoon. A high of 75 degrees. It is currently 56 degrees in Milwaukee.
Rengifo, a shot through, base hit. In to score is Contreras. Sanchez on his way to the plate. Luis Rengifo stays hot. In the gap, left center. That's going to go to the wall. Terang will score. Sanchez on his way to second with an RBI double. That's a little flare. That's going to fall. And that's going to give Sanchez a chance to score. And Drew Vaughn with an RBI single. That's going to do it. Tatis grounds out and put that one in the books. The Brewers with a 5-1 homestand, 7-1 the final here today against San Diego. Vinny, they sweep the Yankees. They take 2 out of 3 from the San Diego Padres to first place team.
Yeah, they were 1 pitch, 1 out away from sweeping the San Diego Padres as well. What a homestand right here by the Milwaukee Brewers.
What a homestand indeed. 5-1 on the homestand. Didn't see that coming. Really glad it happened. Can't wait to talk about it with Tim Allen on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brandon Snide in for Josh today. Audio courtesy of Brewers TV. The fun courtesy of the Brewers themselves. To break it all down and to give us his own top 5 list, which he doesn't know about yet, but he's about to. Joining us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Our guy, Tim Allen. Did you hear any of the conversation about music, Timmy?
I did not.
Okay, real quick, off the top of your head, I won't make you do 5. Give us 3. Okay. Who are the 3 artists in your mind from a music perspective that can sell out Lambeau Field 2 nights in a row without question?
Oh,
and they have to be like able to tour. Elvis doesn't count.
Okay. I would say Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Because the Beatles connection here, just in terms of mortality, is starting to slide a little bit.
Yeah,
starting
That's
to
also
slip
fair.
a little bit. So that would be one. A guy that I'm not a huge fan of and never have been. I like a few of his songs, and then someone named him the Boss for some reason. I'm still trying to figure that one out, but I think he would. I think he could for sure. And then my man, Rick Springfield. I'm kidding. I do like Rick Springfield though. But that third one, maybe Metallica.
That made my list.
That's
for sure.
brought up. Yeah, I missed that one. It's the second night. That's the thing. That's the one you gotta really kind of think about. Is like you could most of these bands and artists can do one night. It's that second night. Can they draw another 30, 40, 50,000 plus people?
Same maybe for the Eagles. Although the ticket prices for some of these shows, I mean, that's a factor too.
That too. That's
in all of this. I mean, I went to see the Eagles at the Sphere in Vegas, and tickets were $251 a piece for a 2-hour show. And then with all the taxes and charges and all that, it was $700 for the both of us, my son and I. So that does play a part too.
All right. What played a part in the Brewers' success the last 6 games? 5-1, Yankees, Padres. And Yesterday, I said this to Brandon too, and I think I said it to you via text. I got to listen to the entire post-game show yesterday.
Yeah,
we left a little early because we could, which I don't agree with, but we could. Okay, I got to listen to it the entire ride home back up here to Green Bay. First off, dude, this is nothing that you don't know, but I love your show. I love your callers. Everything about what you do on the post-game the last 21 plus years, incredible. So thank you for continuing to do that.
No, thanks.
And
it's cool. I mean, I'm super lucky that I get to do this and talk about a team I love and celebrate and, things like that, and commiserate with fans. And, think about, that brutal loss. They were referring to it on Brewers TV there. I think Ratino mentioned, you're 1 out away. They were 1 strike away.
Yeah.
And then writers have time to process. Morning show hosts, you have time to process. Before you go on the air or before a writer writes a story. The fans and our show, Tommy and myself, we have to go on right away. And sometimes I'm just pissed. I'm like you guys as Brewer fans, damn, now I got to do this radio show here,
and I can't cuss and I can't throw things.
Right. But certainly a lot of people work a lot harder than we do, and they're out busting their tail. We're slapping a microphone in front of our face talking about a team we love. The one thing I did notice yesterday, number one, would be, they're playing better baseball, but just the aesthetics of the feel that's going on right now. 34,000 yesterday, and Trevor, you heard that on the post-game show. We kind of focused on that a little bit. That's a really good number for a Thursday afternoon.
I almost called in on this. It was math day, and there was 1,393 schools there with buses galore. So it's kind of like one of those game day kids days, if you will.
Field trip kind of thing.
Yep, that's exactly why I was there.
The Brewers have just been really dominating in their promotions and marketing department. And Sparky and I have said that over the years, many, many years. They're just brilliant in there. They come up with promotions and, ticket deals. And years ago it was bring your cable bill and you get a ticket, or Miller Lite Mondays and it's $6 to get in, or it's, as you said, math day. So I noticed the number there. That was good. And really this homestand, the numbers were good. But I also noticed, did you guys hear the crowd? Trevor, obviously you did. You were there. But Brandon, on the highlights, it had that sound and that feel like the last few years, a division title team. It just sounded like it just sounded good, engaged and excited. They're still not going on all the cylinders here, but it definitely has maybe turned a little bit of a corner here in terms of, number one, winning, but just excitement and attention level.
Tim Allen, the franchise, joining us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brandon in for Josh today. Brandon, I want your take on this too, and I mentioned it earlier, but Tim and Tommy were talking about it on the post-game show last night, that this was blank in terms of the position of the season. What did this 5-1 homestand? So, Tim, let's start with you. For me, I thought this easily could be viewed as a turning point for this team. What do you think?
Yeah, it could be. And it's good that they bounced back with that win yesterday, 7-1, after that brutal loss in game 2, because you didn't want to look back at that game 2 and say, see right there, that was the tipping point. You know what I mean? So if they'd have gotten that one, they wouldn't have gone on a little bit of a skid. So it was good to grab it back. It wasn't even a night game. It was a day game. You got it in less than 24 hours. You had that thing back in the win column and took the series. But I classified it as the most rewarding victory of the season. I still think the biggest win of the year was the last day of April, because quite frankly, the team was sort of teetering right there. They were 15-14. They were all beat up with terms of injuries, and they weren't hitting the ball well. They weren't hitting home runs. They weren't scoring a ton of runs. And I thought it was just teetering a little bit there. And that win against the Diamondbacks, the final game in April. Now, if you're looking at a window of time, yeah, we're going to probably look back at this homestand and say, man, Yankees and Padres, they took care of business 5-1.
I look at it too, Tim and Trevor, to answer your question, partially to what it was last year. Remember, the Brewers kind of were teetering throughout most of May, and then they went on an 8-game winning streak towards the end of May, and things started to trend in the right direction. Their starting pitching was getting healthy. Remember, that was the bugaboo last year, was their starting pitchers were just at one point, Freddie Peralta was the only healthy starting pitcher until they got Quinn Priester and Chad Patrick in to the rotation. So this is kind of similar, right? You don't win 8 in a row, but you're close to, you're an out away from 7 in a row. And obviously, 10 of your last 13 and things have certainly trended in the right direction. So I do believe it was. And Tim, I mentioned this earlier to Trevor in the 6 o'clock hour. It wasn't necessarily winning 5 of 6 at home. And it wasn't just necessarily beating the Yankees. It's who you faced, right? The Brewers offense right now is the one question mark I think most of us will probably have. And you faced the Yankees horses in that series. You faced their best 3 starters in that series, and you won every single game. So for me, it's without question sort of the turning point of the season. And it gives the Brewers a little bit of confidence, right? And you saw what the starting pitching was able to do in this homestand, a 1.95 ERA in this homestand against those 2 teams. That's
I know.
Incredible.
And it continues to amaze, guys, that starting rotation. It is not only in the moment here now. Harrison looks kind of like the real deal. I mean, obviously Miz is just off the charts. You've got Sproat in there. Woody's going to be coming. But these guys, the starting rotation has been buying time. They're time buyers right now. They're buying time for that offense to just get a little bit more click going. And it'll come. And you're seeing Rengifo pay off a little bit. He's 7 for his last 12, guys. And I think part of that comes from getting the other guys healthy, Vaughn and Churio. And, it'd be nice to have Christian Yelich in there. We'll probably find out some more details tonight on what's going on with Yelly. But part of seeing better pitches is getting your guys in that lineup. It's going to take a little bit to kind of just – chemistry is such a hard thing to measure in baseball. And people say, well, lineups really, they don't matter. Counsell and I would always kind of go at it a little bit in terms of lineups, or certainly Ned Yost and I would go at it. I'm a lineup guy. I think it does impact. And so is Murph to a degree. But beyond that, what feels right? What flows a little bit better? It's not just left, right, left, right, left, right. We see Terang leading off against righties, against lefties. It'll be Churio. Would we want to just leave Churio alone in that leadoff spot? We want Bryce Terang. All of this has to flow. And I think that's going to take a little bit, and it's coming. This is going to be a good offense. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be great, but they will be a good offense.
Tim Allen, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Time for a few more, Timmy, and you brought him up there, Christian Yelich. Listen, he's on the short list of greatest Brewers of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Are we ever going to see the Christian Yelich of old ever again?
Well, I mean, we thought that last year heading into the season, and we thought, well, we're just going to have to deal with that. A bad back, and Murph put it right. Ask any of your buddies or you yourselves. I don't know, Trevor, or you, Brandon, if you've ever had back issues.
I'm 6'8".
Oh, okay.
Every day.
Yeah. See, and so it's just an ongoing thing. I've had one back issue, and it was a blip about 15 years ago, and that was that. But, heading into last year, we thought, well, a couple of IL stints for Yelly. Be prepared, buckle in for that, because, he is a leader off the field. Maybe not the most vocalist of leaders, but, he is a leader. And then on the field, so we thought that heading into last year, he played 150 games, rocked 29 homers, knocked in over 100, and just was really, really good. And so we head into this year now, and again, I'll acquiesce and just take a step back a little bit. And I understand it now with Yelich. I mean, I understand that, the back surgery, it was supposed to fix something like this, but no one ever promised that to us. I mean, it does seem weird that, hey, you shut it down, you got the surgery, you're feeling great, and it's supposed to remedy this. But, I'm okay with a guy that is up on years a little bit, utilized in the right way. And if there's anybody that's going to use them the right way, it's probably going to be Murph with Yelich's tutelage here. I mean, he's going to have a say in this. He wanted to play. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
And Murph held him back.
Both days, Tim, to be.
Yeah, that's encouraging, though, Brandon. That is
true.
Where do you stand, Tim? It's another conversational piece amongst Brewers fans. A former top 5 overall pick had a bit of an injury scare yesterday and a dive attempt out in center field. Couple of hits, though, yesterday. Garrett Mitchell, the batting average up to 216. Tim, where do you stand with Garrett Mitchell? Because it feels like Brewers fans are the patience is starting to wear thin when it comes to Garrett.
Yes, well, you still got further line on him than, say, a Joey Ortiz, maybe?
Oh, easily.
Okay, so we have to find out what's going on with Mitchell. At the same time, though, while we're finding this out, because the potential is there. We all see the tools. He's a real tools guy.
Yeah.
And he's got to just, that swing and miss is just, I don't know. So he's got to mature a little bit. We've never seen him play a bulk of games like he's in the midst of right now. But I will say this, as we keep an eye on the maturation of Mitchell, for the team's sake, either Frelick or Mitchell, one of you guys got to get going. And we can't have both of you guys, having a little bit of a down year. Everyone's not going to progress. What do they call it? Linear? It just doesn't progress like that. It's something you have a little half step back a little bit. All 9 of your offensive players aren't going to just balls out every year. You're going to see some progress and some are going to just take a step back. But we can't have, this team offensively, although I think they'll be good. You can't have both your starting center fielder and right fielder, both of them hitting around 215. That's just, something's got to snap there. Just give me one. I don't care which one. And Frelick, it doesn't mean you give up on him. It just means that maybe he's had a rough year. That's all. And he'll bounce back next year or late this year. One of them has to get going. And Mitchell, you have to stay with him. I would say all the way through June even, guys. You've got to find out about Mitchell.
He's only played 69 games is the most he's played, Tim, in a season.
And it's only been about 1 year's worth of baseball for him.
Yeah.
Last one, Timmy, before we let you go. You mentioned the maturity piece there for Garrett Mitchell. It was the 7th, I believe. Brewers up 7-0 when Mitchell decided to try to dive for a ball in center field. And the dad in me went, get over here. Stop doing stupid stuff.
7-0 here. It's funny you say that because I talked to Jeff Jenkins many years ago. It was an 8-1 game, 7-run difference, very similar. It was the 8th inning, and Jenkins dove for a ball and got hurt on it. Now, he wasn't hurt for a long time, but he got hurt. And I recall saying, what are you doing? I mean, really, play up on it. So it bounces in for a base hit. Just a little one hopper right to you and just throw into the cut and you're all good. Well, I mean, he put it to me this way, and a lot of players have in all sports. You can't just play like that. All of players, there are some exceptions, but most all players, you can't turn that switch off. It's just go. You just go. And if you try playing the other way, they said that will impact you negatively. Now, one of the exceptions in Brewerland here, if you've seen Ryan Braun's outfield play, there's a guy that just will play it safe. You're on the golf course. You can hook it around the tree, or you can go over it, or you want to play up on the sand trap and then chip on. Do you want to go for it? You want to chip on, or from a longer distance? Braun, we're just going to chip up right in front of that sand trap, and we'll go from there. We're going to play it safe. Early in his career, you've seen him dive a little bit here and there. But I'd say the second half of his career, this is the one exception. He just refused to put his body in jeopardy.
Isn't this good, though, Tim, to see Garrett Mitchell do that? Because it's a guy that he's kind of got to prove it to himself, obviously to us, but to himself, that he can go out there and put his body on the line and sliding into second where He tore his shoulder a couple years ago, and being able to dive for a ball and be able to get back up and go, okay, I'm all right. I'm okay.
And even diving back to first when he's on first base, diving back in, there was some issues there earlier in spring camp that he was holding back a little bit. And you just can't hold back. You got to go. I think the maturation process for Garrett is really, really interesting. I mean, Murphy had doubts on him, which is quite interesting. When the ivory tower said, we're going with him, and you may find that he's one of the best players on your team. So let's keep that in mind. It's tough to question Matt Arnold and his staff, but when he makes comments like that, you're going to give him a real lengthy rope here to see how this comes out.
Tim Allen joined him all weekend. Twins, Brewers, the baseball post-game show, and then we'll check in with him on Monday as the Cubbies and the Brewers meet for the first time.
Come on, Trevor. No
season.
Cubbies. Cubbies is a term of endearment.
Ooh, I like that. Yes, thank you. Thank you for putting me in my place.
I hear Josh Mauer on the Brewers radio network call them Cubbies all the time, and my head just goes right down.
I like it. Thank you. Hey,
what are you doing?
Anytime you see the Nicolay Law talking text line's about to not only blow up in your favor, but in my not favor. So
yeah, you should throw that out there. Is it okay to call the Cubs the Cubbies?
No, it's not. I can't believe I did it. Let's move on.
All right. Speaking of the Brewers Radio Network, real quick, Lane Grindle is going to join me and Charlie Houston. I'm filling in for Sparky today. He'll
nice.
join the show. Lane, bye baseball Grindle will join us at about 2:20 today.
Got to see him yesterday when Jeff Levering was so gracious to allow us to pop in and say hello to those guys along with my son and some of his buddies.
Nice.
Lane looks great. Bring up creatine. Dude's killing it in the weight room right now.
Okay, deal. Yeah.
He's going to be like, can't tell Trevor anything anymore. Perfect. Timmy, we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, boys.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. My bad. Didn't mean to sound endearing. That's clearly not what I intended. Even though people think I like them, I do not.
I heard about that story.
Yeah, moving on.
We'll move on.
Packers, Mike Spofford. The video release in terms of the schedule and his thoughts on 2026. He'll join us next. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Cubs.
Are the same that brought crosses. So are those that work forces. Are the same that brought crosses. Oh, gosh darn it, don't you know? I'm a cheesehead baby, the pride of Wisconsin.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brandon Snide in for Josh today. And joining us now on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Which one of these is not like the other? LaFleur's wink, Larry's pinky finger, Clay Matthews' bun, Mike Spofford. Bob, what in the hell were you doing on that wheel in the schedule release video?
I do not know. I don't know whose idea that was. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. When I saw a quick preview of the video, I was like, huh? Like, really? But yes, that was I guess you'd call it my cameo in the schedule release video. That was the extent of it.
Absolutely. Who's in charge of that now, though? Isn't it Wes Hodkowitz? Is he leading that pack?
No, actually, it would be our boss, Duke Bauer, and I'm pretty sure it was his idea. And yes, then if you were following things on social media, you saw that Wes was for the promo thing with the long hair and pretending to be the Clay Matthews character. That was actually Wes.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. Well, we should probably talk about the schedule too. So it's out 2026 in full, all 18 weeks, including 3 preseason games. Don't worry about those. What is your quick take on a record here, if you'd give it to us, and just your thoughts on how it shook out home and away?
Well, I mean, as far as, I see the Packers as a double-digit victory team. I think they're going to be a playoff contender again. I mean, I don't think the NFC North is going to be any picnic with where the Bears and the Lions are. I mean, I think the Lions are, primed for a little bit of a bounce back year. And we all saw what the Bears did last year. So, not sure where the Vikings are. They've got to get their quarterback situation figured out. I think they're the team playing uphill in the division a little bit. But as far as how the schedule laid out, I mean, yeah, it's definitely road heavy early in the season, but when you get to finish with 4 out of 5 at home, and then the only road trip in that stretch of the last 5 games is to Chicago, which is obviously a very quick one, not a long flight or anything like that. That's, if you can put yourself in position with 5 games to go in the regular season, it sets up nicely for Green Bay to do a little home cooking. And, that stretch of home games, there's Houston and Miami and Detroit. I mean, those are 2 Southern teams and an indoor team from the Midwest. So, if you're going to be able to use the weather to your advantage, this will be that opportunity.
Mike, when the schedule first comes out, I'm always interested, for somebody whose life now revolves around what the Packers schedule looks like. When you first get the schedule and it's in your face and you're looking at it with your eyes, what are the first few things you're looking for in a schedule release when the Packers in the NFL does it every year?
I mean, I always look for where the bye week is, because the Packers, for whatever reason, seem to have gotten either way too early or way too late bye weeks a lot over the years. And anytime that the bye week actually falls sort of in that week 8 to week 12 range, kind of more in the middle of the season, where I think it can be the most advantageous. And for the Packers in this case, it's really weird how it's set up, because they got the bye week before the Wednesday night game in Los Angeles. So the Packers aren't really going to have a full bye week, but then after playing a Wednesday night game, you sort of get another like partial bye. So it's like 2 partial byes sandwiched around a Wednesday night game. And at the time of the year that is, that, as I wrote about on our website, I mean, that really could work to the Packers' advantage when you look at the major injuries that occurred down the stretch last year, to Devontae Wyatt on Thanksgiving, and then to Zach Tom and Micah Parsons in Denver. Getting a chance sort of right before that stretch run to get a couple of breaks for the players' bodies, both before the Wednesday night game and after the Wednesday night game in LA. That might be a good thing for this team.
That website, Packers.com. That writer, Mike Spofford, joining us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brandon in for Josh today. So back to this video and the schedule release. I went through it with a fine tooth. Look at this. I mean, image by image.
A lot of notes
frame
there,
by frame. Well, I was ready. Hashtag prepared. There's a few hidden messages in here. I want you to just bark twice if you can let the cat out of the bag. There was a white helmet on top of one of the video games and on the shelf. Is there another whiteout game this year?
I haven't heard specifically, but I haven't heard that the white uniforms have been retired or anything. So I do believe there will be a whiteout game at some point. Yes.
Okay, no barking. That's good. I guess it's a thing. What about this Packy Packer guy? Are we going to see more of him? Because nostalgia wins, dude.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we'll see what the front office's reaction is to the schedule video and the turn back the clock to the nostalgia, and see if they want to dive in and do something there. That one I say, hey, it's up in the air, right?
Mike, the Packers avoiding the international slate for the second year in a row, which is kind of rare, and I don't know if they'll be able to do it for a third year. They go in London. Aaron Rodgers breaks his thumb. They go to Brazil. Jordan Love sprains his MCL. Is the international slate of games, which just always expands. It feels like every year it's getting bigger and bigger. After this year, obviously there's no international game for the Packers this year. Is this something Packer fans should just kind of accept going forward, that there's going to be at least one of those games every single year?
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the expansion of the international slate. I mean, Roger Goodell has made it pretty clear that the league is eventually going to get to, I believe it's going to be 16 international games, where there's basically going to be one per week. Obviously, they wouldn't do one in the last week of the season, and maybe not the last couple weeks, but from week 1 through mid-December or through Christmas, they're probably going to have an international game. And if you have 16 of them, that's 32 teams. So that's probably one per team across the board. That's where this is headed. I don't know how soon the league is going to get to that point. But that is the goal. That is the direction. And yeah, I was frankly surprised that the Packers didn't get an international game, because it seemed to be on the even years. 2022 was London, 2024 was Brazil. So I thought 2026 would be another one. But as you said, 2 years in a row now without one. So I would almost guarantee that the NFL is going to send the Packers somewhere internationally in 2027.
I couldn't help but notice Micah Parsons jumping off of a scooter in that video and being ready to go with a wielding axe, cheese, machete, whatever it was. They were just talking on NFL Network on the TV behind me that there's a chance that Patrick Mahomes is going to be ready, and he tore his ACL in December. So I know that we don't know, right, but do you think there's a likelihood that we actually get Micah back before these first 4 games, which, by the way, could the schedule have shook out any better for the Packers in the first 4 games, potentially without Micah Parsons?
Yeah, I mean, that certainly fell nicely for Green Bay, and the fact that, the week 5, week 6 back-to-back is going to be Chicago and Dallas, which if that is when Parsons returns, that'll make for some great theater, obviously. I really don't know where things are at with Parsons. I know Goody has said that doesn't expect him to miss like a huge chunk of the season. He expects him back somewhere in the early portion of the season. But I mean, it's way too early to know if he actually has, I think, any realistic shot at week 1. I mean, I saw the same report on Patrick Mahomes that you did. I mean, that would be, that'd be phenomenal. I mean, I mean, it was maybe 13, 14 years ago, we saw Adrian Peterson for the Vikings come back in like record time from an ACL. And I don't know if anybody prominently has come back at that speed or any faster than that. We'll just have to see. But yeah, the interesting decision, I think, will be, when we get to the start of training camp, is is Micah Parsons going to be, or I should say, when we get to the end of training camp or towards the end, if he still hasn't practiced at all, is he going to start the season on PUP, which would mean he would miss at least the first 4 games, or would they actually have him on the active roster, even if maybe he hasn't practiced, but would they have him on the active roster because maybe he could be back before missing the 4 games? I mean, that's really probably the first time we're going to get a real indication of where he's at.
Mike, it's been a busy offseason, I think, obviously for the NFL, but for the Packers, maybe a little bit more busier than we thought, although the draft, you only had a handful of picks in the draft. You've probably been asked this question 100 times this offseason. It's my first time asking you, so it's an honor to ask you this question. But what did you think of the offseason for Goody and the Packers? I think we'd all agree the championship window is now. It's open. Do you think they did enough this offseason? How do you think this offseason bodes well or not bode well for the upcoming 2026 schedule?
Yeah, I mean, I like what the Packers did. I mean, what I like the most is that the moves that were made. I mean, they kind of knew, okay, you're going to lose Romeo Doubs, you're going to lose, Quay Walker, you're going to lose Rasheed Walker. But the moves that were made in the offseason, kind of filled some of those holes before the draft even rolled around. You signed Benjamin St. Juste at cornerback. You signed Javon Hargrave at defensive tackle. You made the trade for Zaire Franklin, which was your replacement for Quay Walker. You've got a first-round draft pick in Jordan Morgan waiting in the wings to replace Rasheed Walker. I mean, I like where the Packers sit. I mean, I was a little surprised it was only ended up being 6 draft picks, but by the same token, and you look at the state of the roster and all the talk about how this draft just wasn't very deep, overall, I mean, it made sense to make a couple of trades up, and target some guys rather than hope that they were going to fall to you and that kind of thing. So I like where the Packers sit, but even as much as people want to talk about the draft picks, and I think Brandon Cisse has a chance to help this team, and so does Chris McClellan and Denai Dennis Sutton, and obviously the new kicker is now the spotlight is on him. But what happens with this team in 2026 is really going to be dependent on the young players who are back, and taking that step forward more so than the new additions to the roster. It's okay. What is Jaden Reed going to give you in year 4? What is Christian Watson going to give you in year 5? Do you get Tucker Kraft back, and where is he going to be getting, those key injured guys back? And then, Jordan Morgan, Anthony Belton, the young guys on the offensive line who have gotten a taste of things, and now they're going to be in full-time, roles. What are those guys going to give you, and what's the trajectory of their careers? And that's really what's going to define where this Packers team goes.
Mike Spofford, Packers.com. Thanks for jumping on with us, Spoff. You going to Luke Combs this weekend?
I am not, but my daughter is. So I'm actually I'm chauffeur. Like, I'm driving to drop her and her friend off, and then I'll be going back after the concert to pick them up, so they don't have to deal with the whole parking situation. So,
reminder: tell her that Uber drivers usually get tipped pretty well. I mean, that's a fair statement.
Yeah. I will have to plug in that reminder for sure.
Yeah, if there's anything like my kids, it ain't coming. Just a heads up.
No.
All right, buddy. We appreciate you, Spoff. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, fellas.
Mike Spofford on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. When we return, we'll cross over with Rami from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Mekloff. Plus, I think Brandon Snide still has to stick around again, don't you, Brandon?
I sure do.
Yeah, you're going to need a nap. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Back in a bit.
Sunday morning, man, she woke up fighting mad.
Did you know any youth sports player can now score a free small classic Frosty anytime they visit Wendy's in their sports uniform? That's right. Just stop by after practice or with your team after a game. Who doesn't love a free Frosty? And no, Trevor, you can't go after the Luke Combs concert in your apparel, whatever you're wearing to Luke Combs, and get a free Frosty. I'm sorry, you can't.
Why?
You got to be in a sports uniform. Well, maybe you have a sports uniform. I don't know.
You don't want to see me in it. I can tell you that. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brandon in for Josh today. Rami Makloff joining us. We're only a third away from the full squad of 9 to noon that finished out the show yesterday.
Yeah. Has Brandon behaved? Has Brandon behaved the last 2 days? Okay,
Brandon's
right.
very, very well behaved.
We got
Thank you for letting me borrow him.
We got to check on him. We got to check on him and make sure he's playing nice with everybody in the playground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. Good. I'm glad.
All right. Speaking of playing nice in the playground, I hear you love country music, so you must be coming to Luke Combs this weekend.
No, I am not. I am not.
Yes, I'm going to both shows.
That's crazy.
Indeed.
That's well, you know what? I can't say that's crazy. I saw Fish 15 times in concert, and sometimes 3 or 4 nights in a row in my younger days. Okay, so I guess I can't.
I rest my case.
I can't knock you.
Our biggest fear here is that the shows are going to be different, and it's because this happened with Morgan Wallen. So yeah, I know, country, just chill out. We went to Morgan Wallen at US Bank Stadium. Saturday night was the originally scheduled show, and he had all sorts of surprises. Eric Church came out and all different bells and whistles. It sold so well that they booked another one for Friday night. We went on that night, and none of the bells and whistles happened. So we're like, all right.
Okay.
The OG show was on Saturday for Luke Combs, so we definitely want to be there for that. And we're absolutely going tonight because that's where we landed tickets with other members of our family. So
I respect it. And people would be like, why would you go see Fish so many times? Their shows were different. The set list was different. They're a jam band, so like their improv jams were different. The light show was like literally from one night to the next, or the next and the next. If I went and saw them 3 or 4 nights in a row, it was a different show every single night. So I totally understand that reasoning that you could same guy, different show 2 nights in a row.
There's 2 things I want to get from you today in the time we have with you, which is only about 4 minutes.
Yes.
First things first, Bears Packers.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like how it shook out? It's at home against the Bears here in Green Bay, week 5 on a Sunday afternoon. And then it's the third to last game late in the season on Christmas Day in Chicago. You're the Bears guy.
I am.
We're the Packers people. Yes. I have them splitting. I believe Brandon does as well. What about you?
Also have them splitting. And I do like I've always said it should be Bears and Packers week 1 and Bears and Packers week 18. Like that should bookend the schedule, and that would be every year if it was up to me. But I know that's not going to. I like one early season matchup and one late season matchup, and I love that they're going to play each other on Christmas Day. Man, I love that. I know Brandon is not thrilled
so
with it.
Not
so excited. I love that. Like that's a great Christmas present. I think for Bears
if they
and
win,
Packers
if
fans.
your team wins,
if
they lose, I told my wife it's canceled. We're not doing presents.
It's not gonna ruin Christmas. All right, maybe for like 5 minutes it'll ruin Christmas, but I've matured a little bit, and I don't let the outcome of sporting events ruin my day. Certainly not my favorite holiday of the year. So no, I love that we have that event for Christmas Day, that we can get up, we can open presents, we can have a little breakfast, a little Christmas breakfast, and then turn on the game and, not have to talk to my family.
No, well, there's that. There's a lot of people that are looking for that excuse to get out of the holidays too. You know what? Thanksgiving, guys, I'm so sorry. Not going to be able to make it. Have to go to the Packer game in LA. Whatever. Give me 3 quickly. There is a concert at Lambeau.
I heard you ask Tim this on the way in. I heard you.
All right, I'm asking you the same. Give me the artist that you believe would sell out Lambeau Field 2 nights in a row.
Lil Wayne, right? He's a Packers fan, right?
I don't know.
No,
he didn't outsell Pfizer.
I guess Drake is a Packers fan. I don't know if you guys saw that this morning.
That's happening either.
Really? You don't think Drake would sell out Lambeau Field?
I think 2 nights in a row.
I think you would.
Not 2 nights in a row.
And then, pick your favorite country artist. Is Luke Combs going to sell out the whole stadium?
No.
No, he won't. What about a Garth Brooks?
See, I think Garth would.
We had this
Brandon
conversation
doesn't
too. Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah, I think Garth Brooks would.
Metallica would.
Yeah, I think Metallica would.
Taylor
for
Swift,
sure.
we had in that
Taylor
conversation.
Swift sells out wherever she goes.
Shouldn't even be on
Yeah.
the list.
What about
What's
Eminem?
coming up?
I don't know. Trevor would know better than I would the popularity of it. But I'm surprised you're both saying Lil Wayne and Drake wouldn't necessarily sell out.
Oh, I think Drake
Lambeau
would. I think he would. Yeah, he was on my honorable mention list.
Lil Wayne has fallen off in terms of his popularity, but I just thought, the Packers connection with the green and yellow song that he did and being a lifelong
It's who's
Packers
hot
fan.
right now, right? Like to do back-to-back nights, you got to be really hot.
Well,
right
he's
now.
hot, and who obviously just stayed hot forever. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. All right, seconds left. 9 to noon. Go.
Marlon Wayans joins us at 10 a.m.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
9 to noon.
Cannot
John
wait.
Kuhn, Rami Makloff, Brandon Snide. Our thanks to Mike Spofford and Tim Allen for joining us today on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Our thanks to Brandon for sitting in. We appreciate you very much. And we appreciate all of you on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. 414-677-1250. No shortage of opinion and fun there today. We will see you again Monday morning. When I say we, I mean Brandon and Tim. Josh is out. I'm recovering from the quadfecta. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.